I can't believe it's been a month. I mean, it feels like last week that we were here,
Yeah,
It does.
It just flies.
time is flying. And we don't, this is, or yesterday was the last day to get start a 12-week year for this year. It's crazy.
Yep.
We have 12
Yep.
weeks left of this year.
Yeah, I saw you post that yesterday, Charlotte, and it just blew my mind.
Holy
Yep.
crow. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. And with my coaching crew, we do not have a challenge because we did the 12-week challenge and it was an epic fail. So there's no pretty way. Hi, David. Be time.
And that was
There's no
not
way to say it. It was
that was
and
not because of the coach.
I don't know. I gotta own something, but yes, I know. I don't know. It was an epic fail. So I figure, okay, you guys need a break from challenges because, and we're gonna segue into 2024, 2025, that we are wanting to finish 2024 strong. And as most business owners and even people in the corporate world know, when you hit October, you're already doing stuff and planning for 2025. So between planning 2025 and I'm straddling 2024, right? That's enough to stay focused on. And so, Charlotte, you get to go first because I want to lean into, and I also want you to comment on build it and they will come, as we were talking in the background.
Yeah. So, I mean, bridging that 2024 and 2025, that's the 12 weeks, right? We've got 12 weeks to finish this year, but really we have 12 weeks to plan and implement and build and act on what we really hope to become a good 2025. And it's just a lot to wrap your head around. We always have these business planning. I know you guys are doing it. We do it with our coaching. We do it with our company. It's time to business plan. And this year feels, I don't know, does it feel different to you guys? This year feels different to me when it comes to my business planning. It's like there's a little more of, maybe it's because it's an election year. Maybe it's because the rates are just, but it feels like a very unknown 2025, more so than maybe normal.
I think part of it is because it's an election year, and without getting political, hold on a second while I try to change this frame or just get rid of the frame. So hold on. Nope, that's not working. Hold on.
Hey, Dylan, I see you, Dylan, in Knoxville, Chattanooga, Tennessee. I've been in Knoxville all day in my LinkedIn. Can you tell?
There we go. It's just different. No, there's no. Oh, now all of our names disappeared. Okay.
I'm all right.
Okay. It's okay. Let's just leave it. So yes, it's different. I mean, again, I don't want to get political, but it's different.
Yeah. And we don't really know what to expect, right? We don't, maybe even more uncertain. Last year, I think we all expected kind of a bad 2023, we all expected to be rough. I think we all went into it knowing we were going to have to battle. We were going to have to go hard. 2024 has been kind of up and down, which I think is probably what we expected. I think we all thought we might have a bigger refi boom on our side than we ended up having. I think the Fed slowed that down a little bit. But 2025, I mean, it's kind of a crapshoot at this point. Like, we might have a refi boom. We might have a mortgage boom. We might have a purchase boom in the real estate market, or it might just not. We really just don't know. I feel like there's a little uncertainty.
This is a time that I really wish I had a crystal ball.
Yeah.
Right. Yes.
Right.
I also feel like we've been hearing that rate cuts were coming for about 18 months now, right? And they were coming at the end of 23, and then they were coming in the spring of 24, and so.
And now they did come, by the way, for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then poof, they're gone.
Yeah. So I do feel like what has happened recently is a little bit uncertain still. And you're right. It's like, who knows what's coming in 25? I know from the real estate side of it, we also have been so focused on this change that was coming, finally came. We're still sort of molding it. And yet, now we're supposed to be planning 25. It's like, whoa, it's a lot.
Right.
A lot right now.
It is. It's kind of like slow down, let me breathe. And I remember I've said that a few times to a few clients today. Breathe. Yeah.
It was either that or tequila. And, breathing was a little easier in the middle of
Here's our coaching notes from today. I still have it right here.
My clothes are still on. So obviously we did not opt for the tequila option.
She might have lost an earring in her drink, though. We're not sure.
No, that's always a good possibility.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
as we have to kind of lead through that unknown, like, right.
Yeah.
And I think this, what you're just saying about the building it and making sure that they're doing the activities, when everybody is thinking that it's going to be a rough time. I mean, Karen, when you knew NAR was coming, I think everybody took a little more initiative, like, I need to work a little harder because this is coming.
Yes.
There's a little bit of a non-urgency right now with my team.
Well, because we don't know what's coming, right? We don't know
We don't know if it's going to be nice and
know.
easy or if it's going to be hard. And so we're just kind of, everybody's kind of taking this step back. And
Yep.
I feel like this could be a good time to dig in a little bit more. I think that regardless of what happens, nobody's making a big step right now. Nobody's out there pushing, not, I shouldn't say nobody, but I'm not saying a lot of people push real hard. I feel like everybody, it's almost like we're already in the holiday season a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, we are. Yeah. I mean, I've got a lot of clients planning their, pie,
Holiday
pumpkin
stuff.
patch parties already, or their pies or whatever they're doing.
Right.
Yeah, Nadine's like, we
Very
don't know.
exciting.
We just sit in there in our anxiety, which, Nadine, I love that you said that, because this is what I recommend is put, like, how horses wear blinders so that they can't see what other horses are doing? It's like, put blinders on and focus on your finishing 2024 strong.
Right.
And work either with yourself or with your coach or with your community, work on your 2025 business model, business plan, and then your processes, systems, and roadmap to hit your goals. That's a lot. We don't have to be sitting in our anxiety over the elections or whatever it is. We put your blinders on and do what if it wasn't an election year, we wouldn't be so anxious. And what would we be doing right now?
What's funny is I actually had this almost exact conversation with one of my mortgage bankers. They were like, they were feeling anxious over the election and the things that were going to come from the election and the interest rates and all of that. And I was like, so let's just say best case scenario. The best case scenario happens. What are you going to do? Right. And she went over the business items and what she would do if the best things happen. I said, okay, what are you going to do if the worst thing happens? And first she said, I'm going to find another job. And I told her that wasn't allowed, of course. So I said, if you can't go get another job, what are you going to do? And oddly enough, it was the same thing.
Yes.
Right. That's what we have to remember, that regardless of what the election outcome is, regardless of what NAR is going on and what changes we have, if they decide to retract the entire thing, right? Let's just say that. Oh, I haven't heard anything like that. But if something crazy like that happens, what are we going to do? Well, we're going to continue to prove our value, show our value, be beacons of truth and understanding to our clients, and get out there as much as we can.
Right. And through all of this, now that we're August 16th came, or 17th, whatever the date was, I don't remember the date anymore. And it used to be like the only date in my head, right? We really have mostly gotten through it. Yeah. There's still some bumps and bruises, but there are a little bit of speed bumps along the way we still need to iron out, but we aren't anxious over it. Right. Or if somebody is anxious over it, I really want to know what's going on. What's the anxiety? Because people are buying and selling homes. Yeah, people are still out there. Yeah,
they are, and we're working through it just fine. And to what Charlotte was talking about, is focus on controlling what we can control.
Right.
Because speaking of the NAR thing, things changed. We are where we are. Rates, they are what they are. We're even if they promise us a rate cut coming, it can change before it comes.
That's right. So there's always something. There's always something that's going to change, but really, does it change? We say there's the core of our business. Whether you're a real estate agent, a lender, or doing sales of whatever it is, there is a core to your business and how you grew. And this is a little bit of a side note, but I feel like also another thing that we're seeing a lot of in my industry, it's lots of bells and whistles, lots of shiny new objects.
Yeah.
Shiny new objects. And I'm not saying they're bad, and some of them are probably great, but we often will think that shiny object is going to be that one thing that's going to get us to the next place. And you know what? It might be a great shiny object that's going to get your business better. But just getting that shiny object isn't going to be enough. You're still going to have to do the core with that shiny object. So if that shiny object is a way of connecting to your sphere, you're still going to have to do the connections, right? Whatever the new shiny object is. If it's doing social media and connecting that way, whatever it is, you still have to be active in it. And that is the core. Well, somebody said the real estate industry and the mortgage industry, all of that is rewarded with action. So I think that if we just remember that all the shiny objects, I'm not saying they're bad. I'm notorious for loving good new technology, but it's not going to solve the problem if you don't do a lot of action with it.
Yeah. Right. And I'm going to add another layer to that. And then Karen, I'm going to give you a turn too, is another layer to the shiny objects and your core is if you're super clear on your plan, does that shiny object help you be more efficient and effective with your plan? Or does it take you away from the plan and now you're not working the plan, right? Or you're just being superficial. So it's like really know if that shiny object is, like AI helps most of us in our businesses, right? So that shiny object is kind of cool, right? So I don't, but there are other shiny objects like if it's buying leads, and if that's not part of your plan, if your plan is networking, social media, and your database, now you're going to think about, something different. That's taking you away from your plan, right? That I know if you execute, that's the one word, right? That if we execute, we will hit the goal. Yes, perfect timing, balloons. Your turn, Karen.
One thing I think is different, unique in our industry, and it's both on the lending side and the real estate side, is our advertisements go to everyone, everywhere about our production, right? So if you work for, let's say you work for Oracle and you're in sales, the people within Oracle know who the top salesperson is. But outside of that, it's not advertised like in our industry, right? So it depends on what somebody really wants. What do they want to be able to say about themselves, if anything? And so if your goal is to be able to say that you're the top producer for Zillow leads in this area, that's a totally different model than someone who has maybe a money goal and is going to do it with half the number of closings and do it by work by referral as an example. So
and focus on increasing their price range or something like that, right?
Exactly. Absolutely. And so it really depends on what you want, and what I think that we're leading into talking about is that people get distracted by that shiny object too, right? They're moving along and might be hitting all of their goals and their income goals, their production goals, all of that, and then they see, oh my goodness, Joe sold twice as many houses as I did. Right. But does that matter if he, has the same income that you have at half the number of houses and you have maybe a better life work balance? So it's staying true to what you wrote as your business model and plan and not getting distracted.
And Charlotte's favorite words, values.
Yeah. And can I just tell you that I've been talking to a lot of agents. I've had about 4 or 5 events now with agents and lenders recently. And we've been talking about using AI to create a good name for your client appreciation program is one of the things that we did, like using how you can use AI to do something like that. But I said, you have to train your AI to know what you guys were talking about, which is like your core values and your business plan, like how you succeed. Can I tell you that there are a lot of people in the room that have not analyzed what has made them successful thus far. Mm-hmm. And to me, all those shiny objects are worthless if you don't know if they don't connect to what's made you successful so far. So if what's made you successful so far is doing open houses, right? Then analyze that. What is it about the open house that makes you successful? There's something in that, because it's not just the fact that you were sitting there in a house, right? So, or if you're been successful because you got involved in a nonprofit group heavily and you connected. It wasn't
pickleball.
Yeah, right. You're right. What was it about? What did you do? What was your superpower in that situation that made you successful? And you've got to know what that core is. If you don't know what that core is, it's time for you to go talk to Tanya, because you need to know what that is. You need to find out what it was that made you successful in your business. And if you're new to real estate, but you've been successful in something in your life, whatever that is, go analyze it. And then if that shiny object is in alignment with your special talent, then go for it, because you're not going to keep doing it.
Thank you, Nadine. So spot on, Charlotte. So you can see Charlotte has had a few coaching sessions with me, right? Few of us know or even have considered what makes us unique or successful, right? That's one of the first things we do in coaching is what's your superpower and what's your kryptonite,
Yep.
you know?
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
And
Yes.
the
Shiny
shiny
options
objects are
are
great.
distractions.
Yeah,
Yep.
they're great.
Right.
If you know that they align, they're strategic. They're not just I'm a whirlwind, I'm a hot mess, and this is going to save the day. No, if you're a whirlwind and a hot mess, you're just adding something else to your whirlwind and your hot mess.
Yep. Okay, so I have a challenge. I have a quick challenge. So I know we have a few people here on the chat. Write down what your superpower is, Nadine. I know you've worked with, we know each other. We've worked with each other. Nadine is an amazing copywriter, by the way. So Nadine, what's your superpower? David, what's your superpower? I think I know what they are because we've all, we're all in community with each other. If Rachel's on the call, still here on the chat, I know what Rachel's superpowers are, but I'm not spoon feeding this information, right?
You have to know it. Hey, if
You
you
gotta know
want
it.
if you want to take a dive and know if you know yourself, training your chat GPT to know you and saying, ask me questions like, hey, chat GPT, ask me about my core values in my business. The questions that it asks you to learn you will actually really open your eyes.
Yep, I agree. So here's so my coach has been encouraging me to get on podcasts, and typically when someone says, "Sure, I'll consider you," like I'll get more no's than yeses, right? So I get lots of rejection. No, I don't think we're a good fit. No, I'm full for the year, whatever. And then all of a sudden I'll get one saying, "Yeah, I think we're a good fit. Please fill out my application." So I had filled one out today, and I got accepted. And the application said I need a 2-line bio. So I went to ChatGPT and all I said was, give me a 2-line bio, and it gave it to me. I didn't have to tell it who I was or my name. I said Tanya, with 10 years experience as a business coach, and I'm like, that's really cool. It remembered me.
Yeah.
So do you pay for your chat GPT?
No.
No? Okay, so then you have it done. So the difference in the paid and the not paid is how much it remembers. It'll
Yes.
remember like 2 pages worth of stuff if you don't pay. It remembers like thousands of pages if you pay.
Yep.
So if you want it to continue learning you, pay a little bit.
Yes. And I probably will put that into my budget for 2025 because
pretty cool.
it is pretty cool. And now that I'm pretty proficient in it, and I do help, when I get on a coach call with a lot of my clients, we'll screen share and I'll get on and teach them how to do it. It's very valuable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's helpful, especially if it knows you.
That's the thing. It just continues to get better and better as it does get to know you.
It's scary.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is created by a man, though. I'm just going to go ahead and throw that out there. So if you ask ChatGPT to create a graphic, and I upload a picture of myself, and I said, I'm 40-something-year-old woman, plus size, in a business suit. Please know, if you use the word plus size, a very voluptuous woman with lots of cleavage is going to come up in your video.
Oh, yeah, I have cleavage.
So much. Like, it's like Roger Rabbit, okay? Can we just go with Roger Rabbit?
I am now blushing.
That is funny.
Say, okay, less cleavage. Then it gives me a size 4. I'm like, okay, so we either have a size 4 or a voluptuous Roger Rabbit, Jessica Rabbit. Got it. This was definitely created by a man.
That's hilarious. Now I have to go try this.
Oh, it's hilarious. Yeah.
I have, and it is. I agree. It is not gender neutral at all.
It likes it, which makes me think that a lot of people have been putting in pictures and saying, add more cleavage, possibly. Maybe that's user driven. Who knows?
Wouldn't surprise me at all.
Maybe.
All right. So I'm going to switch the topic for a second because I still want to go back to the word execute. So, Karen, how are you staying focused and energized with the straddling 2024 and 2025? And then my part B to that question is, what are you doing for your agents? Because just FYI, everybody who's listening, Karen is a broker and a producing agent.
Mm-hmm. So I'm spending a lot of time with my head in my calendar. I am reminding myself, this is, for myself personally, reminding myself of what I need to accomplish in this last sprint, really, of October, which is where we're still asking for business and making sure that I'm not missing anything, not missing a single day. And then also that I'm prepared for how we're going to show gratitude to our clients through November and December. So again, it's taking a lot of focus to remain in my calendar because we're working on planning 2025 and what are we going to do about that? And we have some really big things happening in our company in 25. And it's hard to not just want to skip over there and be so excited about those that I forget these. And so also back to, what am I doing with the agents? Same thing, helping them stay focused on their calendar. We're trying to get to the end of our goal writing for 25 so that we can set it aside for a while. Right. And then revisit it maybe just before break in December to throw some new ideas in. But in my, what we're working on is it not being something that is dragging on for this entire last quarter, because we really do need to dive in and focus on this quarter.
Yeah. So for me, and Charlotte knows, Karen, I want the plan, your business model, your business plan by November 1st.
Yes.
And then we're going to set processes, systems, and tactics in November, right? So the roadmap. And then that's it. I want us to not have to worry about it in December so that you can finish up the year and then have a rest time. Right? I want to enjoy the holidays and yes, come, January 4th or 5th, I gotta, well, I'm here. I'm kick your butt anyway. We gotta roll up our sleeves and move on.
We do. And in order to, in my opinion, in order to actually show gratitude for, our business that we've received with referrals and our business partners and such throughout the year, we have to be in a place of gratitude, right? If we're still scrambling around, trying to work on 25 and really focused on that, then we're not taking the time and really showing gratitude.
Yeah. Charlotte, how about you? How are you? Because I know you love to spin plates. I know you, right? Spinning plates is a superpower until there's too many.
Yeah.
How do you stay focused for 2 years, working on 2 different years?
Yeah. So right now we've been spinning 2 different plates in that as well, because we've all been kind of expecting that refinance, and we have been so slim. Lenders have been so slim on margins the last 2 years. We're all doing loans for almost free, sometimes negative, with the hopes that we can get refinances when the refinance booms. So we are heavily calling past clients. So our reason to call past clients is not just to try to get a referral, but also make sure that we get that refinance, because lenders are out there like sharks in the water.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of a stalling right now since rates did come back up this week. But we've been heavily focusing on that. And the timing is nice because this is the time that we would normally connect with our past clients anyway for our client parties and things like that. So we're heavily focused on client parties. We're getting all that done in November, focusing on calling clients, making sure that they all remember who we are for refinances and also for referrals, doing both. So I'll say that we've done some contests with the team just to try to generate some activity with that. But at the same time, we're trying to focus. My little video on my side is like slow. It's very distracting. I don't know if it's doing that for you guys. But on the flip side of that, for the planning part, we've got pretty big plans with the company. We do that towards the end of October. We put together like what their business plan is, what their goals are financially. So we're going to sit back next week. We do the management plan, and I'm going to push very hard to not worry about those business numbers. Know what you want to make, know what that number needs to be as far as closings, but really just what are our goals for our activities? I want to stay like what Tanya was saying. I feel like we get all the shiny objects, and I think we're just going to really plan for 2025 as to what actions have worked for us in the past and what are we going to do more of in 2020. Right. Knowing we have an end result, but what actions are we going to take first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter? No matter what happens, no matter what's going on in the economy, no matter what are these actions that we're going to live and die by?
Yeah. And if those shiny objects don't make your business more efficient and effective, it's a no thank you.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we got to learn that no thank you. It's hard, it's especially when we get in desperation mode.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so I did not tell you ladies I was going to ask this question. It just really just popped up. So a brag, anything, something that happened wonderful sometime during this year, something that happened wonderful this week, a brag on yourself. I know.
Oh, that's a tough
Kill
one.
me. I have to say something wonderful that happened.
I'll say something. This year is 20 years in real estate.
Wow.
Yeah, thank you. And we've talked about this before. There was some people in my life that were in an important position in my life. I'm not going to call them important because clearly they weren't. That just were really down on the whole, you'll never make it, which fuels my fire. As Mike says all the time, please don't tell Karen she can't do something.
Yep.
It's pretty exciting. And I haven't done a lot of celebrating with it. And that was something that I added to what I'm doing this last quarter is I am going to celebrate it. Because it's a big accomplishment to be a self-employed, successful person, right? So I was top 1% in the San Francisco Bay Area for 2021, and I've rivaled that pretty closely for about the last 7-8 years. But that was, just when I got that top 1%, which felt great.
Yep. Awesome. Yeah. Being a badass businesswoman is really cool. And you are. Yeah.
It is very cool.
And I mean, I know maybe I'm a little skewed. However, I think being in the real estate profession, lending, anything real estate is not easy. It's just not easy.
No.
So good job. And then I choose to coach all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Charlotte, your win.
My win is a little unique. I have been really debating and trying to think for probably maybe over 6 months of what I really wanted. I knew that I wanted to write a book, and that's been something that I never thought I'd want to do. And then about 1.5 years ago, I decided I wanted to write a book. And in the last 6 months, I've been seriously thinking, what do I want to write about? And I've thrown all kinds of, I've even asked ChatGPT, which was not very helpful, by the way. And I have trained her a lot. But this week, it kind of came to me, what the book is going to be about, and a great title. I'm excited about my title. So I actually feel like I'm ready to actually start this adventure. So I'm excited. Things are starting to click and put together. So I hope to have a #1 bestseller.
That's awesome. Yeah. Well, and I don't know if Nadine is still here, but she has written a book and has had it published very, very recently. So she'd be a great connection for you, Charlotte. And again, she knows a lot of people. And Nadine and I connected on LinkedIn, and we still are very well connected. So definitely, connect with Nadine on this, because she has personal experience with writing a book and getting it published. And I bought it. I have it at home.
Nice.
That's great.
Yeah, they say there's an art to becoming a #1 bestseller, that it's not just about the material. There's lots of good material out there that doesn't do it. So I'm going to have to research and figure the marketing aspect of that out for sure. So that
I hear the marketing piece of it is huge.
Yeah, it is. It is.
So that's right up my alley. So please give me that challenge.
So my win actually happened. So I have the win I have to brag about today really made me happy today, and made me laugh, and made me roll my eyes, and because I've been connecting with people on LinkedIn for many 2 years now, and I love connecting with real estate professionals on LinkedIn. So I will, if I see somebody, or I'll search it on LinkedIn and see a realtor or lender or anything real estate related, private message them and say I'd like to connect, and and then if they say yes or no and they connect with me, right, you push the connect button. So I've talked to many people, as you know, on how to be authentic with asking, right? So I'm asking people to connect with me, which is not easy. I mean, it's easier now because it's been 2 years. I thought, my coach was absolutely crazy when she's like, you got to go ask people to connect. Don't just click connect and walk away. That's not a real connection. So today I did it with the vice president of KB Homes. I don't know if you guys saw it. I posted it in our private Facebook group, but I just wrote something hey, I just love connecting, or I enjoy connecting with professionals in the real estate industry on LinkedIn. No sales, just want to connect and see if there's anything we can do to support one another. Sincerely, Tanya. And she responded and said, yes, absolutely. And thank you so much for not being salesy.
Ooh, so mission accomplished.
Yeah.
Right. So you know how many times I coach people and say, "Oh, that
Yep.
sounds salesy," or "Tanya, you sound salesy." I'm like, she said, "Thank you, Tanya." Literally, I screenshot it and posted it in our private Facebook group. Thank you, Tanya, for not being salesy. And I'm like, oh my God, this hits the happy
That's
button in so
awesome.
many ways.
Yeah,
That's
no,
funny.
that's
Yeah.
great. Yeah,
Maybe
you have
that's-
another one, and that's that when I was on my coaching call today, I thought I had this kind of idea all planned out, and you gave me like 5 great new action steps for my plan. So
Yeah.
she's pretty good at that. You come up with the idea, and then she's going to explode it.
Yeah, I think we call it fire hosing, right, Tanya?
Yeah.
We call it fire hosing, yes. And so as I said, and so David, I'm calling you out. Rachel, I'm calling you out. And if I missed it, I apologize. But the challenge was to write down or post in here, comment on your superpower, right? So that's one of my superpowers, is making sure that I create a customized roadmap that's going to work and that you will execute. Now, I can't make you execute. That's out of my control, unless my new business will be hire Tanya and fly her out to your location and she'll execute your plan. But
Right.
man, that's going to cost a lot of money.
Especially since that takes you away from grandbabies. I feel like it's going to cost a whole lot of money because you might have to fly everybody
Yes.
with
Right.
you.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So while everyone has the challenge here to write their superpower, ladies, what are yours? Or share one. You don't need to share all of them. Share one.
Go, Karen.
Oh, well, the one that I'm constantly reminded of is Mother Teresa, caring for people, caring for my clients, caring for my agents. So,
And as long as you manage that, that is a phenomenal superpower.
Yeah.
It is. It can become, kryptonite, or you can go to the dark side of over caring. However, as long as you manage it, that is a phenomenal superpower hence why you're so successful in real estate in here 20 years.
yep,
It's
thank
a
you.
good one for your career. It's a very good
Yep.
one for your career choice.
Yep. All right, Charlotte, superpower.
I think mine is finding a solution. So when times are dark, when things are rough, when things are not perfect, I like to find solutions. There's that firefighter in me that just likes to go and solve the problem, but also kind of find hope. I'm a hope bringer.
You're a hope bringer and you like to save the day. It's like, here she comes to save the day.
Like, we are going to leave this smiling. You might be ready to bang your head against the wall, but we are going to laugh about it when we're done.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And maybe
So,
even
Rachel-
have a path to get out of it, right?
Yeah. So Rachel says she's a benefactor. So most people here aren't going to know what that means, Rachel, unless you've had personality profile assessment that says you're a benefactor. So which means she's a phenomenal giver, Mother Teresa. So that's the same superpower right there. Yep.
Let's talk about yours, Coach.
Yeah.
Pardon?
Let's talk about yours.
Let's talk about my superpower. It's my drive.
Yep.
It's my drive. It's my problem solving ability to be creative and customize a roadmap for you guys that is going to. No two people that I coach have the same. I just know they don't. Similarities, sure.
Deeper, right? You are able to make people you let them come up with an idea or a plan or a thought, and then you challenge them with steps to get deeper.
Sure. So, somebody that I coach that might be, a single female with 2 young kids might have a goal to sell 20 homes. And then I might coach a single guy who's 50 that has the same goal to close 50 homes. And I promise you, they're going to have 2 different roadmaps.
Totally different roadmaps.
Totally different roadmaps. It's not going to, one is going to get out more and one's going to do more from inside the home. Right. So, yeah. That's what I love. That's what I love.
And you're so specific with that stuff. And I love that. We'll have a call, right? And we'll talk about something and you give me a plan. And then I get a follow-up call because you're still thinking about it and have thought about more, which feels good. It feels really good, right? Because
that's where you turn off the phone and say she's fire hosing me. Right? It's like, Karen, I came up with 2 more ideas. And she's like, oh, stop her. Stop. Give her the tequila.
I love it.
Yeah. But I do. I'll be walking or showering or swimming naked in the pool. And it'll be like, okay, I just came up with an idea for Charlotte or whatever it is. And I can't not act on it.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And
One
you know,
of the things that
probably
makes you
have
great
people probably do 10% of what you give them the ideas for. So it's probably better that you fire hose us so that our 10% still gets us to the
There we
next.
go. There we go. Now I have a good reason. Yeah.
Charlotte, you weren't supposed to tell her.
Oh, Karen, I know how well you guys execute or not execute. And obviously we talk about the math all the time, that when we do our business planning, a lot of it's just pull out the calculator and do the math. And I'll tell you a story. I'm not going to name names, but I have a client that said they wanted to close so many homes. And I'm like, okay, so how many, people do you have in your sphere, in your database, in your CRM, whatever you want to call it? And they said 10. I said, how are these 10 people going to feed you 20 homes in 2025? It's not happening. Let's do the math. If we do the reverse math on this is how many people you have in your database. We need to go fishing in some other ponds, because your database pond isn't going to feed you. You don't have enough people. Now, Charlotte, I know you do. Karen, I know you do, right? You have enough. And we still go fishing in other ponds.
Yes.
However, this person, it was like an aha moment. I'm like, how do you think these 10 people are going to feed you 20 homes in 2025? It's just not. The math doesn't work.
Time to get out there and do some networking. We got to grow our sphere a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I think the execution piece, I will tell you that as I coach the people that work with me, right? As their leader, I'm constantly trying to coach. We do a miracle morning Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We're all supposed to do all of our savers, and we check in. And if you don't do your miracle morning, you have to get on a call with me. So it's like either do your miracle morning or get on a call with Charlotte. So most people try to get their miracle morning in, but just execute. It's 3 days a week to get up. And I let them have the 5 minute. If you guys aren't familiar with the miracle morning, it's doing these specific routine every morning. And you can do a 2-hour miracle morning, or you can do a 5-minute miracle morning. And I totally let them get by with a 5-minute. And guys, the execution on this is probably 50%. It's so simple. Like, just do it.
Yeah.
But
it's one of them. That is a foundation for your business and for your health. And I know when I let it go, that my business suffers, my health suffers. And when I am on it with my miracle morning, and again, all three of us have different routines. I know, I was sharing with Charlotte today, that every morning I bullet point my goals, my business goals, my personal goals, my health goals. And I have stayed on track with my health goals by doing this part of the miracle morning. And I guess I'll share one more win, and then you guys can share a win if you want. But in the last 3 months, I've gotten back on track with my health and lost 30 pounds, and I'm off my meds.
Amazing. Getting off the meds. That's amazing. That's great.
Yep. But that 30, I still have another 30 pounds to go. But that 30 pounds, I mean, I can't believe the energy I have.
Yeah. It makes all the
But
difference. On those days that you're insulin resistant, just remember the energy. Right?
Yes. I am right now going through 2 weeks of being insulin resistance, which means those, plateaus where you work hard and don't lose anything for 2 weeks. It's called insulin resistance, I've learned. But it's staying focused. It's like, is this cheesecake going to get me closer to my goal or further away from my goal? And it sounds silly, but I have to do it. I just have to do it. Yep.
But doing that action step in the morning, making that commitment, and doing that helps you with the commitment throughout the entire day. That's
absolutely
the idea that we're doing.
It's amazing.
Take that small action, just that one little thing, it can completely change your day.
Yeah. And it's a proof in the pudding kind of thing, because to talk about it doesn't resonate, but when you do it, it's just amazing.
Yeah. And even coach, that's why I have a coach. It's like, I cannot believe I let my health go that bad. But again, I went into the dark side of my drive. I'm focusing on growing my business. I'm focusing on business. And then I'm focusing on my daughters who are having babies. And then I have an 83-year-old mother who just had shoulder surgery. So again, there must be some sort of Mother Teresa in me, because I'm off doing all these things. And the last person that was on my list, it wasn't even on my list, was me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It happens.
It's very tough.
It does.
And it's embarrassing, but it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm talking about it. What's the first step? Talk about it.
You are human.
Yeah.
We've all been there. It's easy to fall through that. Easy.
Okay, so favorite Halloween movie before we hang up because we're getting past time a little bit. Do you guys have a favorite Halloween movie or a favorite holiday movie?
I always love to see the Great Pumpkin, the Peanuts.
Yeah, Peanuts. And the Hocus Pocus is always a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I like Hocus Pocus.
Yeah, those are two of my favorites.
Which one?
Hocus Pocus
Hocus
and the
Pocus.
Great Pumpkin.
The old one. The old one, not the new.
I love Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I love the Land of Misfit Toys.
Yes.
I so resonate with, the Land of Misfit Toys. Yeah.
And I've always I like the one with Tim the Toolman Taylor, whatever that guy's name. What's that actor? He played Santa, and I think it was the Santa Claus.
Oh yeah.
Tim, the comedian Tim Crud. Can't remember his name.
He became Santa.
I know who it is. Yep. Yeah.
Can't remember his name. Anyway, he was I think it was the Santa Claus, and I loved that one. I grew up watching it, and I made my kids like Tim Allen.
Thank you.
The Toolman.
Yeah. I still enjoy watching Home Alone too, because I just think it's just such a creative, happy little story.
Yeah. So what are your grandkids going to watch this year, do you think, Karen?
I'm sure it'll all be Disney stuff. Oh, definitely what's the one with the train? The Polar Express. Oh,
Polar Express. Yes.
We used to read that book every year at Christmas. It got put away with the Christmas decorations, and now we get to watch it as a movie. In fact, I took William to see it last year, and I bought him a cardigan and put a bell in the pocket of the cardigan. And so that was really cute when he discovered he had a bell in his cardigan.
Oh, nice. That's so sweet. Look at that. So Charlotte, when do you officially become a grandma?
Like October 20 something, I think 25th.
Oh my God, it's just around the corner.
Yeah, that's coming soon. So I have to tell you guys a funny story about the Polar Express. I was at our retreat with our company, and we're walking around, and two of the girls came up to me, and they're like, Charlotte, we've been thinking, we really want you to record yourself reading a book like the Polar Express for us, because your voice is so soothing. That's never been. So I went home and I told my husband, and he's like, what? He said, were they joking? I'm like, no, they have asked me now 3 times if I will read the Polar Express, like do an audio version of the Polar Express.
That is so funny.
I love it.
Voice acting has never been something I really had thought about, but apparently I play the part of Polar Express somehow.
Who knew? I'm all in. Yeah.
Husband said, yeah, he's not listening.
He's probably wondering what voice you're using at work that he doesn't.
He said that. He goes, do you speak differently at, maybe when you're at work than you do at home?
What do you put in your coffee on your way to work?
Right.
That's funny. Oh my goodness. Ay. All right. So we get together in a month here every month, once a month. Yep. And if you guys ever want to bring a guest or ask somebody to join us, we have room on the screen for another person. So if you ever think of a real estate professional that might want to join us, or non-real estate professional, but an entrepreneur, that would be really cool. Yeah. Always welcome to have a guest. And thank you all the other guests who here, Rachel and David and Nadine, and anybody else who's listening who didn't comment. We love that you're here. Thank you very, very much, and see you in a month.